today on this Monday the 28th. Hope you guys are doing well today. Hope you're ready to learn some more math. Hope you had a nice spring break. And unfortunately now, it's time to get back to work. So here's the schedule for the week. You do not have to write this down, but if you want to, feel free to. Monday's going to be notes and homework. Tuesday, notes only. Wednesday, homework only. Thursday, notes and homework. Friday, we'll have a quiz and notes and homework. So Friday will be a pretty busy day. Okay, so there's a schedule for the week. I believe Thursday, I think they're going to swap first and third period. Now, don't hold me to that. I could be wrong. So I think your algebra class on Thursday will be during third period. But I could be wrong about that, okay? But be listening for an announcement about that, okay? All right, moving on. At this time, please turn in your homework assignment that I gave you on the last day before spring break, page 484, numbers 7 through 17 odd. Make sure your name is on those, and please turn those in. Incompletes for Algebra 2. Let's see what we have right here. Let's see here. We have, this quiz was given last Thursday, right before spring break. And I did not get, Libby, Reagan, and Michael did not take that quiz. I will give you guys until Wednesday to take that, okay? Your quiz is in the folder, and you have until Wednesday to take it. This assignment was given on Wednesday. It was turned in the last day of spring break. On Thursday, a lot of you were not there to turn it in, but Reagan, let's see, Reagan, you would have had an A, I believe, so you're not on here. You're fine. In fact, I gave you a 100 for that already, so you're fine. So Libby and Michael, you must turn that in by Friday, okay? Quizzes, by Wednesday. Alright. Okay, moving on. Let's see what else, guys. The video today is about synthetic division, okay? This was something really important you need to master. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to do, but that is what we'll be looking at today. The teaching video is called Algebra 2, Lesson 9.4, Part 2. It's about 35 minutes long, but the homework is rather small. The homework is about 17 minutes long, so pretty reasonable. The homework assignment is right there in front of you, page 484. Those numbers right there, I think there's about 12 problems. And quizzes from Thursday. Now, the ones that took the quizzes, your grade is on Sycamore, okay? And we'll go over those quizzes once everybody's taken the quiz, okay? But by Wednesday, we must have those quiz makeups taken. Now, the A's, now listeners, well, I expect you guys to have a good attitude and understand something. Don't say to yourself, well, I go to competition, I get punished. That's not how it works. It could be athletics, academics, whatever. But having an A average, thus being exempt from homework, is not a right that you have. It's a privilege or a gift that I give you, okay? And I never, ever, I figure the averages on Monday, and that's it. Now, sometimes that helps you. Sometimes you'll have an A average barely on Monday, and we'll take a quiz or a test on Tuesday or Wednesday, and you'll bomb it. But you still maintain your A average for the rest of that week. So that helps you. Sometimes the system hurts you. Sometimes you'll not get a quiz, like some of you that usually have A averages. You did not take the quiz on Thursday because you weren't here, or you might have done poorly on the quiz. Well, guys, look, I do the averages on Monday. I don't do them again until next Monday, okay? That's just how it is. It's not a lazy thing. It's just a consistent thing. You know what day I'm going to figure them, and that's the day I figure it, and then it stays that way. That way there's no... Think how confusing it would be if I changed in the middle of the week who had A's and who did not. I mean, that's crazy, okay? On Monday, these 3 people did not have to do the homework. On Tuesday, it was 1 person. On Wednesday, it's 5 people. And so I do it once on Monday, and that's good for the entire week, okay? So if you were absent Thursday and you've not taken the quiz, I do not give A averages to anyone if they're missing a quiz or a test, because that can influence their average. Also, by the way, just so you know, I go by the semester average. Okay, the semester average. Okay, moving on. So your quiz grades are in Sycamore. Those that took the quizzes, you might want to look at your grades, some if you really struggled on this. So don't be discouraged. I'm not mad at you, but we're going to the intro video, feel free to. But if you have any slight doubts in your mind, you ought to listen to this. I'm going to go really fast. I'm not going to teach you, I'm just going to review it. Okay, here's a trinomial with the lead coefficient of 1. So you're looking for two numbers that multiplied together give you this, when add together give you this. Right away I think of these two numbers. If you multiply those two numbers, you get a negative 18. If you combine them, you get a positive 3. So the factorization is x positive 6, x negative 3. Or you could swap those two parentheses, it doesn't matter. It could also look like that, okay? Now, that's factoring a trinomial with the lead coefficient of 1. Let's factor a trinomial without a lead coefficient of 1. Remember, you take this number here, times this number here, and you write it over here. And then you're looking for two numbers when multiplied together give you 24, when combined give you negative 10. Well, I think of these two numbers right away. If you multiply a negative and a negative, you get a positive 24. If you combine these, you get a negative 10. So you bring down your first term, you bring down your last term, and right in the middle you put negative 6x from this right here, and then negative 4x from this right here. Okay? See how that's different from a trinomial with a lead coefficient of 1? These are easy. It's one step and you're done. If your trinomial does not have a lead coefficient of 1, it takes a little more time, okay? Pull out what's common in the first two terms, 3x. That leaves you with x minus 2. Pull out what's common in these two terms, that's a 4. But when this is negative, you pull out negative also. And that leaves you with x minus 2 or x negative 2. Write your matching parentheses once. And then your other parentheses would be 3x negative 4. And there you go. I factored this down to this. Okay, notice I have a binomial with a perfect square here and a perfect square here. Whenever you're dealing with two perfect squares, you must have a positive first term and you must have a negative second term, or it cannot be factored. Put two little parentheses. The square root of x squared is x. Put an x here and put an x here. The square root of 16 is 4. Put a 4 here and a 4 here. Make one positive. Make one negative. There we go. Okay. Alright, moving on. Whenever you have perfect cubes, here and here, and they're both positive, we put a little parentheses and a big parentheses. The cube root of x cubed is x, put that here. The cube root of 27 is 3, put that here. Bring down this sign right here. Take this number, write it, multiply it by itself. X times x is x squared. Take this number here, multiply it by itself, you get a 9. Take these two, multiply them together, you get a 3x. Whenever this is positive, this is negative, and this is positive. Now, if this would have been negative right here, then everything stays the same except this is negative, and all of these will be positive. I told you I'm not teaching you, I'm just reviewing, okay? And lastly, if you have a 4-term polynomial, pull out what's common in the first two. Pull out what's common in the second two, and we go from there. So pull out what's common in the first two, x squared, and you're left over with x plus 2. Here, pull out what's common in the second two. It's an 8, but there's a negative sign here, so pull out negative 8, and you're left with x plus 2. Write your matching parentheses once, and then bring down your other two terms. And look at that. Now we can factor this again. Or no, we can't. We're done, actually. That's it. We do not have perfect squares or perfect cubes. We have one perfect square and one perfect cube. We do not have two perfect squares or two perfect cubes, so we are finished. Alright. So I hope that was a good review. I really felt like it would be wise to do that since we had fall break. You must be able to master factoring, or you will be lost in this chapter. Okay, moving on. And I told you guys that when I taught you. That's very important. You understand how to factor. That's all for today, guys. Please get to work on your notes and homework. Have a great day. Contact me if you have any questions at all.